Honestly, it took me 7 days to start seeing results, to start seeing things change in my face. 7 days of semen retention, 7 days of retaining my energy. All right. I don't even know what day I'm on right now, but I more or less worked it out because the one day I wake up in the morning, like any other day, and I'm flooded with good energy, but not a spike of motivation or dopamine or, I watched the David Goggins reel or something like this. Nothing like that. It was literally that feeling of a more consistent type of motivation. A feeling that things are looking up. So throughout my day, as the day passes, I just get more and more good news. As I'm staying committed to literally just retaining, because that's your number one job. Your number one job, if you're someone like me, you can check all my other YouTube videos where I share all my other stories and all these things. But if you're someone like me, you've had similar challenges or you've had similar experiences in your life where you've lived false identities of lack of confidence and low self-esteem and lack and felt like you were never good enough and worthless. And now you stepped into your power, right? So the one day you stepped into your power and you realize that it starts with harnessing your sexual energy. That's where it starts. That's where the most powerful energy for an individual, if you're like me, comes from, right? If you're anything like me, this is where your power comes from. This is the base, and it literally propels everything forward. It makes everything else that follows easier. Finances, staying consistent, looking after yourself, taking care of others, being present, having energy. It starts with those things. Having energy doesn't just mean being hyper and these kinds of things. Having energy means to actually look at things from an angle of that is in your favor. This type of energy that you circulate in yourself. So the one day I wake up and I go throughout my day and I'm just flooded with good information. Like a lot of stuff starts unfolding for me, from money to, business opportunities to, changes in my life, which changes that seem unfavorable, right? So this place I'm staying in, it's potentially I might not be living in a few more months. So reality has shifted and said, yo, your physical reality is about to change. And I had that feeling as I was going on this semen retention, as I got to day 7, day 8, I had this feeling within me like things are looking up and things are changing. But not of a fact of that I'm going to change what I'm doing or I'm going to force a change. I just knew something's going to change. Hence why I say this is the most powerful energy. If you're anyone like me, if you're similar to me, this is your most powerful energy. This is your power. This is where you unlock and step into that true divine self that you really are. Divine meaning the energy that you can harness from literally these things like sexual energy, etc., etc. You start to become almost psychic in a way. You develop these psychic abilities. I've made a video talking about this as well. Semen retention and psychic abilities. And I'm getting all this good information and everything, and I'm like, all these opportunities and things are just unfolding for me and things are looking so favorable. Like I said, and the change and the environment that's going to change within the next few months. But I had that feeling prior, and it all happened around day 7, day 8. And it's almost like a recurring pattern. It's a consistent recurring pattern where you can see if you commit to that process for that amount of time, and it doesn't even require much effort. It just requires you to do less. Because when you do less, you're doing less of the vices, right? You're doing less of the indulging per se. So after that period, that 7, 8 days, things start looking up. Things start looking great, actually. And of course, I'm not expecting it to go on and on and on to feel on top of the world. But when I just look at particular things, I'm like, I can't avoid the signs, right? And I just appreciate when it does come up. The challenges feel easy. The wins, the good things, the fortune, it feels like, yes, I'm in my flow. It actually feels like you're getting more in your flow by getting more of these things. When you see your physical reality start to shape and bend, and the structured matter literally starts to warp around you. Like the most unbelievable thing happened to me, which I found out, some information that I found out, which is a potential. But it's one day I will share the story, but as this is in process of unfolding, I don't want to talk about it too much. But it's something that's like kind of like, whoa, like it's almost like it randomly happened. But nothing is ever random because I've been committing to this process, right? I've been the one there, yes, 7 days, 8 days, retaining, even more now. I've crossed that point. I'm coming up to nearly 2 weeks. And when you have that intention of retaining the energy, but also then having an intention of purifying yourself, purifying your energy field, things look better, you know what I mean? Your skin looks better, your eyes look better, your hair looks better, people perceive you differently, you communicate differently, because that is actually who you were to start with. It's just everything else that we've loaded onto ourselves, right? So that's 7, 8 days. Those 7 vital days allows it allows you to then step into yourself to make a new story, right? Things happen in your favor, things change in your environment, because it's literally allowing you to create this life that is actually yours. Not the life that is propagated to you, or this propaganda that's fed to you about how things should be and, in a particular way. Yes, oh yeah, you have to be lucky to win in life. Oh, you have to, if you don't have good looks, you're not going to do good in life. Like all of these things that are not even true. Because the only thing true is you, because you are projecting your reality from your consciousness. Therefore, you can just tap back into that. And to get to that, just remove all the BS. Remove all the extra, shed those extra layers that we have added onto ourselves. Like I said, shed the propaganda. And I feel that the best way to do that is semen retention. I've experienced this over 5 years, 6 years now. 6 years of going through this journey and realizing that every single time that this is the most powerful time. This is why I take breaks from certain things, because I needed that time to get to myself again. I needed that time to devise and me to separate, to create some distance, to create some space where I can create something and put something forward that's actually useful, and put something forward that is helping me and helping other people. Right? So I just wanted to share that. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be sharing many more of all of this good news that I've received. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It has been very bad news as well. But so it goes. So it goes. All right? Stay tuned. Peace out. Try those 7 days. See you.